Hi guys, my name is Dan and this is another vlog from BragDeal, and today we're going to be talking about quite an important topic. We're going to cover 3 different areas about little known methods of how to pick the right logo and how to make sure it stands out. Alright guys, so we're gonna cover 3 important areas in this video. Number 1 is how to pick the right logo and get it approved by friends, family, and obviously yourself. Number 2, how to research correctly. And number 3, how to make sure people actually remember the logo. So let's go to the first part. How to make sure that people actually like what you picked, or how do you actually design the right logo? Well, one of the big things in logo and branding is obviously coming up with the right concept. The name on its own is hard, but let's assume that you already have the name. So when you do have that name figured out and you start sketching things out on paper, you'll realize that very quickly that it's really hard to come up with something really fast that will stick around and something that you like right away. Now, I've had a lot of clients ask me what are the differences between the prices, like why some people charge $100 for a logo, some people charge $2,000 for a logo. Now, the answer is really simple. The person that charges very little will actually do a very minimal amount of thought process into your logo. They'll come up with the first concept. They might even use pre-made symbols online. Whereas the expensive one will make sure to write everything on paper, from concepts to actual drawings, and obviously sketch everything at the end themselves by hand on the computer and make it into a digital format. So to answer the question as to why one is cheap, one is expensive, it really comes down to where is the quality. Obviously, the more we pay, the better the quality is. Now, that being said, if you pay lots and lots of money for a logo, it does not mean that it will be better than the cheap one. Sometimes you can come up with a concept within 5 minutes and draw it out on paper, and that'll be bang on, that's exactly what you wanted. On the other side, sometimes you come up across a logo that's just, it seems to be simple, but it takes days sometimes to come up with the right concept. The hard part about a logo is not to actually draw it and pick the colors for it, but more so to come up with the concept for your brand. Once the concept is finally picked out, making the actual drawing of the logo is a matter of a few hours, maybe less, depending on how fast you work. But colors and the text and the symbols, that's the duration of the whole logo process. And that's why some logos can take weeks, some logos can take hours. It really depends on the concept and it really depends on the brand. Now, after you made all the sketches, or maybe you hired a designer to make the logo for you, one of the hardest things is to finally say, okay, this is it. This is my brand. From now on, moving on with it. This is what my company is gonna be seeing as, and this is what my customers will see me like. So one of the easiest ways to make sure you made the right decision is ask family and friends, see what their reactions are like. Now, obviously, this is not what you should solely base your opinion on, because at the end of the day, this is your brand. This is something that you're gonna wake up and go to sleep with, so you wanna make sure that you're happy with it yourself. But of course, anything that they bring to the table should be used as consideration for you to make modifications, changes, and so on. And for the second point, we wanna ensure that the logo is designed right and graphically is portraying the right message to the audience. Now, the color that you pick for your brand or your logo is very important, because different colors have different associations to them. For example, if you go to the grocery store, you probably have noticed in the past that there's big yellow signs telling you half price off, hurry up, get it kind of thing. And there's a reason why it's yellow, because it's screaming at you, it's cheap, and it wants to get your attention. So if your company is about that, then obviously use the color yellow. On the other hand, if you want to go for more luxury, more an expensive side of things, then usually black, gold, white are the colors that you want to go for. Now, other colors to consider, and I'll definitely include a link below with more color differences and different associations, but just really quick, blue will kind of cover in the psychological part, the trust and the credibility without even knowing what the business is about, versus red, which will be more about the dominance, control, power. So if you actually notice presidents like Barack Obama or Donald Trump even, when they go on stage, you'll notice that Barack Obama usually wore a blue tie, whereas Donald Trump always wears a red tie. And now you understand why. And not to get too deep into politics, but obviously every color that you wear does represent you in a certain way. So keep that in mind when you're picking the right color for your brand. Now, point 3 is how do we make sure that people actually remember you? Or remember your brand in this case. So obviously when you've picked the logo brand, you've picked the colors that you want, it comes down to lots of testing. make sure that you post it up, ask friends and family again after the color choice what they like the most. Make sure you get different reactions, different feelings about what they understand from the logo. So when they look at it for the first time with the new color you pick, see what they say right away from the first moment they look at it, see which one they gear more towards and why, and based on that start making your adjustments, because whenever you do lock down that choice, that's when your website is gonna start using the same color as your business cards and in general your whole brand. So you wanna make sure you make the right decision. Now, not to stress you out, because this process is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be actually your brand. So at the end of the day, if you're not happy with the result, don't be scared to change it. I mean, this is your company. So whenever you do have that logo picked out and you're still not 100% in love with it, go back to the drawing board, change it up again, make a new revision, and maybe that will be the next hit. Alright guys, so this is just a really quick tip about how to pick out the logo and the brand for your business. We do have an article on our website on BragDeal.com about this. Link will be in the description below, just so you can read a little bit more information. In the meantime, I hope you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do like and share it as well. And until next time guys, I'll see you in the next video.